What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to the Lead From Here podcast. I am Jason. Today we're talking about trust. So we've talked about trust a few times, but this one is more specific to a message I got on social media the other day that kind of asks, like, why is trust so important? Like, you talk about it a lot. Why is it important? And I mean, ultimately, trust is the foundation of any healthy culture and team. Without trust, you have basically you're surrounded by fear, because if you don't trust people, you're fearful of what they might do to hurt your career, hurt the team, hurt the company, make bad decisions, put you in a bad spot. Like, fear is the absence of trust equals fear in a lot of situations. Certainly not all the time, but most of the time, especially in situations where you're not working with family, you're not working with close friends, you're working with coworkers. They have different levels of friendship and relationship. So when you're in that scenario, the absence of trust means probably a presence of fear, probably more than an adequate amount if you don't have trust. So that's one major reason, is like, because the more trust you have, the less fear there is that people are not going to hold up their end of the bargain, or not going to screw you over, or not going to stab you in the back, or are not going to take credit for the work you did. Like, it sounds very cliche that, like, trust is the foundation, but it ultimately is. And trust actually makes you more effective, because when you have trust, you can have the radical candor conversations. I'll link that conversation down below. You'll have teams that trust each other, that have those candor-filled conversations and challenge each other and say, like, hey, I noticed that ticket spun for longer than it should have. Like, was that ticket not done well? Did you struggle with something? Was there something I could have helped you on? Did you need to call out earlier that there was a problem? Like, a lot of different things can kind of come up out of candorous conversations that won't, if people are afraid to say what's really on their mind and what they're really struggling with. So it's really important to really understand the differences that people bring when they're coming in fear and coming in trust. Because when they're in fear, they're going to hold things close to the chest. So they're not going to collaborate as much. They're not going to share as much information. They're not going to share when they messed up. They're not going to share when they think somebody else messed up. They're not going to be open to feedback as much. Whereas if you have trust, they're going to be open to feedback. You're going to be able to have great conversations. You're going to be able to really push the envelope of the effectiveness of a team, because you're not only, having the candorous conversations, you're also open to feedback, and you're also willing to challenge people that challenge you. All that trust and building of relationships that come with trust allows for everything to flow more freely. And it allows people to be their best selves, because nobody's their best self in the middle of fear. Sure, it's a good opportunity to show courage and to, take risks. But at the end of the day, like, over a full year with a team, like, if everybody's operating out of fear the whole time, everybody's going to burn out. They're going to leave. They're going to be less effective. And odds are you're going to look really bad as a leader, because everybody's going to be frustrated in your team. That's going to bubble up. Your metrics are going to be down, because people can't be effective in fear like that for very long. There's just a lot of things that are going to look really bad, and people are going to be really unhappy, including you, because you're going to be stuck in the middle of a big mess of frustrated people, and that's not a good place to be. So, yeah, just trust is very important, and I appreciate the question. Like, honestly, I'm not trying to be dismissive to this question. It is the most important thing for a trusting, happy, balanced, effective team. So that's why it's important, because you don't want fear, because fear builds unhealthy teams. Hope this was helpful. Please throw more questions to me if you have them, jason@leadfromhere.co, or any of the social media platforms. I appreciate your time. If you like what you're hearing, please like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. I appreciate you all. Take care.